Pikachu!
Hello and welcome back to the Poke Lab. Today we're going to be starting our 25 deck progression series, where we'll be playing 12 different games with each deck to see which one comes out on top with the most wins. So let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into the first deck profile. So as you can all see, our very first deck is Blissey V. So what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about the deck, what its strengths and weaknesses are, then I'm going to go into each card individually to explain why we play it, and obviously the advantages of playing that card. So within the deck we play 4 Pokemon, 20 different items, 16 supporters, 4 stadiums and 16 energies, obviously making up a total of 60 cards. So straight away you'll be able to see that we only play 4 Pokemon, which are all Blissey V. Blissey V is a basic Pokemon, so we'll always be starting with it. Taking over to the right hand side, you can see that Blissey's got 250 HP, so 250 health points, which for a basic Pokemon is absolutely brilliant. We've also got an ability. Basically what the ability does is every time that we attach an energy from our hand to Blissey, it heals from any special conditions. So if, for example, if we were poisoned, it would heal the poison on Blissey. Then taking us to the attack. So the attack is Blissful Blast, which for 1 energy does 10 damage, but for every single energy attached, it does a 30 further more damage. So for example, if we've got 1 energy on, it'll do 40 damage, 3 energies on, it'll do 100 damage, and so on and so on. After Blissey attacks, it can then attach up to 3 extra energies from the discard pile. Obviously what this is going to do is it's going to increase its attack. The big drawback with Blissey is its weakness, so it's weak to fighting. In the meta just now we've obviously got Urshifu VMAX, which is the biggest downfall, and we'll take double damage, so really we would have to get really lucky in that matchup because we've got nothing obviously to combat it with. There is things that we can play, but I just feel that it makes the deck inconsistent. We don't have any resistance, and our retreat cost is 4, which is obviously a big amount, but we're not looking to retreat much because obviously we only play the 4 Pokemon. So next up is the items. We play a total of 20 items in the deck. We play Hyper Potion, Lucky Ice Pop, Suspicious Food Tin, and Team Yell Tool. And the last one is the Cape of Toughness. So jumping into each card. So what Hyper Potion does is it heals 120 damage from one of your Pokemon that has at least 2 energies attached. If you heal any damage in this way, you discard 2 energies from your Pokemon. Which isn't a problem for us because we can actually just use our Blissful Blast and reattach the energies used to heal up the Pokemon. Next up we've got Lucky Ice Pop. So what it does is it heals 20 damage from your active Pokemon. If you healed any damage in this way, flip a coin. If heads, put this Lucky Ice Pop back into your hand instead of discarding it to the discard pile. So really you're looking to get lucky with this card maybe 2 or 3 times, heal maybe between obviously 20 and maybe 60 damage, and that's absolutely perfect from there, especially if you've got 2 or 3 in your hand, you can just use them all. Next up you've got Suspicious Food Tin, which is very similar to Hyper Potion. So what you need to do with Suspicious Food Tin is you can actually heal 80 damage from one of your Pokemon that has at least 1 Psychic Energy attached. If you healed any damage in this way, discard the Psychic Energy. So it's very similar. As you see, you attach energy and then you discard it to heal it up. The big benefit is we can just keep reattaching the energy used for this. Then we've got Team Yell Tool. So what it does is it heals 50 damage to both active Pokemon, so you do heal your opponent's Pokemon as well. But it isn't too bad because what you'll find is you actually accumulate a lot of energy and your attack will be a lot bigger than your opponent's. Really you're just trying to keep your the damage on your Blissey as low as possible to keep you alive for longer than your opponent. And finally we've got Cape of Toughness, which is the tool card we use in the deck. So what Cape of Toughness does is if you've got a basic Pokemon, you can attach this card and you gain 50 HP. You can't attach it to GX Pokemon, which isn't a problem because Blissey is obviously a Pokemon V. This is absolutely brilliant because obviously it rounds our health points up to 300 rather than 250. You'll tend to find that you get a lot of VMAX Pokemon with 300 health points, so for a Pokemon V to have that, it's absolutely amazing. So next up we have our supporter cards. We play a total of 16. So jumping straight into it, we've got Alistair, Boss's Orders, Milo and Zinnia's Resolve. First one that I'm going to pop into is the Boss's Orders. So what Boss's Orders does is it switches one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. So this can be used as an aggressive card to obviously bring out whatever Pokemon that you want to attack, or it can also be used as a stall tactic, as we can obviously move your opponent's stronger Pokemon back to the bench. So the next three cards are probably the most important cards in the deck. I call them my draw supporters, so all three of them draw cards and also discard cards. So the first one that will pop into is Alistair. So what Alistair does is it draws you 3 cards. If you draw any cards in this way, you discard up to 3 cards from your hand. So the big word here is up to, so you don't have to discard all 3, you can discard 1. But ideally, if you've maybe got 4 energies in hand, you'll discard 3 of them and attach 1 to your Blissey. Once you've attacked, you can then reattach all 3 of those all 3 of those energies to your Blissey. Next up, you've got Milo. So what Milo does is it discards up to 2 cards from your hand and then draw 2 cards for each card you discarded. So you can draw a total of 4 cards. This is really good because obviously you might have a hand full of energy. You want to discard those to draw maybe more supporters and more healing cards. So it works out absolutely perfect for that as well. And the last one is Zinnia's Resolve. So what Zinnia's Resolve does is you can actually play this card only if you discard 2 other cards from your hand. So just like the other cards, we can discard 2 energies, and then what it does is you actually draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So in the current meta, people are filling up their benches, so you can sometimes in a turn draw from between 4 to 6 cards with this one card, which is absolutely brilliant. It allows you to see all your the energies that you want to see, and obviously see the healing cards that you're looking for. So to round it off, really, with the deck, you're looking to use the draw supporters. That's why we like to go second with the deck. We want to get energy into the discard pile as quickly as possible and then get it attached to our Blissey. So to round off the deck, we play a total of 16 energies, 12 of which are special energies, and then obviously 4 of them are just standard energies, basic energies. So the energies that we play are Lucky Energy, Captured Energy, Powerful Energy, and Psychic Energy. So what Lucky Energy does is, when it's attached to your Pokemon, if you get attacked, you actually draw a card. So ideally, with this, you're looking to have Blissey to have maybe 4 of these attached, 2 of these attached, 3 of these attached, it doesn't really matter. And then for how many you've got attached, that's how many cards you're going to draw. So really, getting this on to your Blissey early game always gives you advantages, especially if maybe your opponent marnies you and puts you down to a 4 card hand. If you've got 2 of these attached, you can then draw another 2, taking you back up to 6 cards. Capture Energy, so what it does is you can actually attach this to your Blissey, and then it puts another Blissey from your deck onto your bench. Realistically, you're not always looking to fill up your bench as quickly as possible with this deck. It's only in dire necessary that you're looking to do that. You've then got your Powerful Energy, which is probably the most important card for the energies, as what this card allows you to do is attack for an extra 20 damage. So obviously if you've got, yet again, 2, 3 or 4 of these, it adds up. So if you've got 1, 20 damage, 2, 40 damage, 3, 60 damage, and if you've got all 4, you do 80 damage. And then obviously you've got your Psychic Energy, which is just there so that you can use your Suspicious Food Tint. So up next we'll be starting the progression series. We'll be playing 12 different games with Blissey. Ideally I'm going to try to make every video roughly between 25 minutes to 35 minutes. That's where I'm aiming for. So if one game takes a bit longer, it might just be one video that day. If I can fit 2 games in, absolutely perfect. But the ideal number we're going to try to hit is 12, and then we can move on to the next deck. Certainly over the next couple of weeks when I'm playing these decks, if there's any improvements that you can see that I could do to the decks, let me know, and I'll consider maybe changing some things over. Apart from that, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and stay tuned.